positives from it.
In terms of taking those positives, we've just had Bailey Hine Pitcher in who gave a really good interview, and he's talking about you preaching about getting into good habits for playoff hockey. Did you see more good habits out there this weekend than bad habits?
In terms of like last night in particular, yeah, in terms of how we played, we talk about going on the road and, it's obviously easy to play, just chatting to Alex, their coach, and he was just saying about the building and, how noisy it was and how their guys just sort of froze in the third when we kind of get into the game. So on the road, yeah, it's more difficult. You've got to play a slightly different style. You've got to keep buildings quiet. You've got to sort of play a bit more percentage hockey, and we kind of haven't managed to do that very well. Last night, I really liked how we did it. So, if we're going to have anything in the playoffs, any type of success, we're going to have to get some results on the road. And last night was certainly the best road performance of the year. Like, we were pretty ruthless going forward and then really battled and compete the other way. So last night was really positive. Tonight, kind of, like I said, a bit indifferent. 40 minutes, we kind of froze a little bit. We never really kind of found our rhythm. But then in the third, you kind of see the resilience and the kind of grit and grind that we're about at times. And yeah, we're going to have that in the playoffs. Certainly if we're going to do anything, we're not going to have our own way. There's going to be some moments where we're in deep and we've got to show a bit of character like we did tonight. So, yeah, there's certainly more positives than negatives from the weekend.
It must be a tough job as a coach. I know it's part of the job you enjoy. We're looking at it in the commentary box and it's 40 minutes in and we're saying the first line that's been great all year really isn't getting going. Is Jamie going to, put him in a blender a little bit? Is Hine Pitcher going to take some minutes on the first line? And then the first line come and score two big goals. How do you get that feel of the game of what's going on? What as a coach, you can overreact too much. What's your feel on the bench?
Yeah, it's tough. I think, that line with Ozzy and Loris and Ollie, they were having a tough time, and I think, they had a couple of penalty calls against them that kind of upset them a little bit, I think, and kind of got to them. But, it wasn't they weren't kind of having their own way tonight. But, those guys have been right. They're certainly Ozzy and Loris has obviously played at a higher level. But, they... when things are tough there, they step up big. I'll be honest, they weren't having a great night. I had said to them I didn't think they were having a great night. We kind of started playing a few other guys, and sometimes it's just not your night. Sometimes you try and everything you do on a normal weekend, and you have success, and it's just not happening. And it just felt like tonight it just wasn't happening for them. But give them credit in the third when we needed them. Like, they turned the game, 2 quick goals, get the building on its head, and give them credit. Like I say, they battled through even a bit of adversity, even with me, give them a bit of a hard time. They stepped to the plate, and that's what we need the leadership in the group to do, because, we are a pretty young group. So when we have nights like tonight, it's like guys like that, you need to be able to take the game by the scruff of the neck and get hold of it.
I can't remember whether it was on camera or off camera last week, but you kind of said about your defensive core, meat and potatoes, you just want them to do the simple things right. I thought tonight they did do the simple things right on a lot of occasions, particularly getting in the shooting lanes. Guys like Asprey, guys like Gallia, guys like Mike Hargreaves, we don't talk about them a lot, but they really seem to be growing in confidence.
Yeah, for sure. The game's a 2-0 game. It's 2 power play goals, and we take pride in our kills. So we're disappointed that happened, but we didn't give up even strength goal till they scored that face-off play in the last 20 seconds, which was obviously a killer. But 5-on-5, Tyler was great, but I thought we did pretty much keep him to where we wanted to keep him, and the power play unfortunately was a difference. But yeah, to be fair, I thought Mike's got better as the years gone on, and same with Tom. And I think it's a learning curve for those guys. With me, I'm a different coach probably to a lot of those guys I've kind of worked with before. So, I'm pretty demanding in terms of like different aspects of the game and kind of what we expect and how we want them to play. And I think they're thriving on it. I think they're enjoying the kind of being challenged and the coaching of it. But it's like anything. I think a new coach and a new style, and it takes a little bit of time to kind of understand it and kind of feel comfortable with it. And the decor over the weekend were, they were really good over the weekend. I was impressed last night. We really battled down. We had a 5-minute kill and we kind of rolled through the D. And sometimes it was perfect how we wanted it. Other times, some of the guys there, Mike and Sam Schoen and Asprey, they're throwing themselves in front of pucks and just scrambling. And the big thing is those guys care about Bristol hockey. They care about the team and the team winning and success. So, as much as maybe sometimes they're not my go-to guys for things like the power play, whatever, they understand that. But they really care about what goes on here, and you can't take that away from them when you see them play.
This might just be a question you bat away because you're not looking for excuses, but you didn't experience it in an elite league. You won't experience it next year when the Pitbulls step up. How big is the differential when you've played on a Saturday night, you play on a Sunday, and the other team hasn't played that Saturday night? It seems to make a big difference in this league.
It's made a difference for us, I think. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's something that we've kind of keep addressing that yeah, you know, for whatever reason, when we have those double weekends, we're good on a Saturday, we're not great on the Sunday. Yeah, you know, we've had that conversation a lot, and you know, and it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. It's, you know, these guys aren't full-time professionals. They have jobs. They have things outside of hockey. So, you know, hockey isn't their first priority necessarily. But it's tough. I think also the way we play. You know, the way I kind of coach. We're very demanding in terms of, like, you know, we've never gone into a game this year and kind of said, do you know what, we're going to sit back and we're going to be pretty passive and we're going to just, you know, really just try and clog it up and be, you know, a little bit boring and neutral. Like, you know, our style of hockey is to get after it and get on the forecheck and energy. And unfortunately, that does take a toll. You know, you have to understand that with that comes. It's tough to play that for 60, and then it's tough to do it over 2 nights. So that's where our deep bench at times helps. But, like, you know, you get weekends like this where, you know, we were down a few bodies, and yeah, you know, it's something I kind of question myself a little bit. Like, you know, do we have to sometimes change our style a little bit to get 6 periods of hockey out of us? But you know, I think, you know, tonight was certainly a step forward. You know, it was the first time I think over 2 games we were in it all the way over 2 games.
And just finally, Jamie, and this is because I don't want to ask you the same question over and over again. Particularly, this is for the new fans, I suppose. We all go home now. We turn the lights off, what have you. I read a great article you did with Lewis this week about you had a pre-training meeting on Tuesday to talk about the power play. Talk me through the next few days. You'll do the video analysis. The guys will come into practice. You'll key on some things. What does the next week look like for Jamie Elson and the Bristol Pitbulls?
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, we practice Tuesday, Thursday, but, you know, so last week, you know, it's tough. We're coming in, we're on a 3-game losing streak, which is the first time, you know, that's happened. We've had, you know, 2 games, in particular against Stratton, where we've been shut out at home, which we obviously don't take much pleasure in, and, you know, unfortunately, you know, it wasn't much of a hidden elephant in the room that the power play was, you know, on a real tough streak. So, yeah, I don't know. I walked away last weekend, and it was, you know, it's been the toughest point of the year for me. I was kind of wondering whether, you know, you start questioning whether you're kind of doing it right or whether, you know, style and your coaching methods are right. So it's hard. Like, I carry, unfortunately, you know, in sport business, you know, when you win, you feel great. When you lose, you know, you obviously you know, you're down and you go home for the weekend, and unfortunately, I carry it with me, you know, for a couple of days. Like, it makes or breaks my week a little bit, unfortunately. So. And it's hard because the message I always say to the guys is we try and have a 24-hour rule that, you know, after 24 hours you got to let it go, or 12 hours if it's a Saturday night running Sunday next day you got to kind of draw a line and get after it. But yeah, unfortunately, like I will say this week it was kind of coming to Tuesday, I was still carrying it. But you know, I watched the video back. You know, we talk about that, and it's hard. You know, those games we lost. You know, we weren't great in Chelmsford at all. But the 2 Streatham games, you know, we're playing a league-leading team, and we actually played some really good hockey, but, you know, you're playing a team that is so dominant. So I think the message on the Tuesday night was we had a meeting that we had to clear the air about some stuff. There was some stuff that we had to address, but it was no, like, it's not panic stations. You know, there's a lot of good things going on, but we need to maybe just draw a line in the sand and kind of get back to some stuff that we were doing well early in the year. And we kind of, I felt we were getting sloppy, and I kind of felt like maybe I was getting a bit sloppy with addressing some things. Maybe I was letting some standards slip. Right? We're trying to set standards. We're trying to set expectations here. And I kind of was looking in the mirror saying maybe I've kind of dropped some of that. And that's kind of passed on to the guys in practice. And then we're getting into some bad habits. So, yeah, we just had pretty much, you know, there was no bollocking, no craziness. We just had a real good, honest chat about getting back to the heart of what we're doing here. And we had a really good, you know, we tried to make Tuesday a really, like, competitive. Like, we had to come and battle, but I wanted to make it fun. So we had a real good session. You know, we battled, we competed, we repeated. We got, you know, we had a session where, you know, we put it on the line and guys were battling and hitting, and there was a little bit of blood on the ice, and yeah, you know, but the guys were smiling, and the guys like battling and competing. They love it. So yeah, we just got after it and had a really good workout. We focused on the power play all week, and you know, we had some rewards last night. Didn't quite go our way, but it was better tonight. But and it'll be the same this week. You know, we'll let the dust settle and analyze the game, and you know, the guys will be down because, like I say, it's a 3-point weekend, but it feels very much like, you know, you've lost the game tonight. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you're trying to suss the mood out a little bit. You don't want to go into practice Tuesday and kind of be downbeat. So it'll be very much about picking the guys up, and you got to always just step forward and get focused for next week. So, you know, we'll address where we need a little bit of work Tuesday, but it'll be about getting the guys back up and going again because, you know, we lose a game in a shootout. It's not the end of the world. There's bigger things going on in the world. Like, we just get back to business. You know, we're proud of what's going on. We're proud of the support, the fan base. You know, lots of people on the road with us last night. There's so many positives to take. So, yeah, you know, that'll be the message to the guys. Don't be too doom and gloom.
I think that's a good note to finish on. Yes, there are more important things going on in the world, and there are lots of important, good things going on here at Bristol Pitbulls Ice Hockey. Jamie, as ever, thanks for your honesty, and thanks for joining us.